Hey, what time is it?
It's Muffin time! It's Muffin time!
Actually it's 12:30.
Stop with the queuing! It's Muffin time! It's Muffin time!
Actually it's 12:30.
Stop with the queuing!
Hello every pony, bronies and Pegasisters of all ages. Welcome once again to Like a Ditzy Do, a video series about the My Little Pony collectible card game. And here we are, 4 episodes in. I'm really surprised I managed to stick with it. Not only stick with it, but keep to my one video per month deadline. That said, we are 4 episodes in. How about we talk about the character the show is named after and how she interacts with what this show is about. Today we discuss how the Equestrian Odysseys affect certain mare mains. Alright, we are going to start things off with the new hotness. Here we have Muffin Mare, sharing is caring. I want to say right off the bat, I really like this main character. For starters, I really like the art on both sides. I'm just going to talk about the front for now, and we'll talk about the other side once I talk about her flipped ability. But for those who watched my episode on Slice of Life, I said I really wanted a friend card with the screen capture of Ditzy offering cranky muffins. And while this isn't a friend card, I'll take it. This is perfectly fine. Very happy to see this. Anyway, the first reason why I like this card, in terms of gameplay, is she is so much easier to flip than her predecessor. See, while there is another character here with at least 3 power, you may turn this card over. While this can be a little tricky, if you play your cards right, you could actually get her flipped by turn 2. And how you do that is you just make sure you save at least 1 action token after your first turn, and then play, say, Applejack Farm Fairmore to your home. She has 3 power, and bam, flipped. Now, talking about art again, this is a wonderful original piece done for the set, and it makes me very happy because her interacting with these characters has been something I've been hoping to see since the word Muffin was mentioned in that episode. So yes, this is great. Thank you, Interplay, for commissioning this. As for the second reason why I really like her, let's look at this ability. Pay 1 action token and exhaust one of your characters to add its power to another character until the end of the turn. Holy crud, guys! And as I learned from playing a game against an opponent who used a certain Luna main, this ability can be triggered as often as you want as long as you have the action tokens for it. I mean, that's just nuts. And this is made for a character with Stubborn. Again, Obsoive. Alright. Here we have our Muffin Mare with 2 orange buddies who have Stubborn. And if you can't read the text, don't worry, I assure you they only have Stubborn. Let's say you know you're going to have a face-off this turn, so I exhaust Apple Cobbler to give her, take the 1 power and give it to Golden Harvest, and then I take exhaust Golden Harvest to give 2 to Apple Cobbler, and since these 2 are stubborn, they both still would contribute their power to the face-off. I have essentially doubled my power for 2 action tokens. Now, when the power is only 3, that might not be saying much, but stubborn's a pretty prevalent keyword, and hard hat exists. And then you can put Vittle Stands into the mix. People are already saying Vittle Stands is broken. You want to add it to this mess? There's also the fact that Muffin Mare's ability isn't limited by location at all. Say I have a certain very tall Earth Pony at home, and I'm about to have a problem face-off. I exhaust him and add 6 powers to someone else. That's crazy. I haven't gotten very far with my deck planning for this main character yet, but these three are pretty much definites at this point because they all have one requirement. That is out of the way. And in the case of these two, if I got them in my first hand, I'm guaranteed to be able to play them on my first turn. Again, with Fairmare, with this Applejack card, I can get her flipped super easy. Other cards I'm thinking of using in this deck include Sweetie Drops, because 1, she's 2 for 3, and 2, she's Sweetie Drops. Special Agent frickin' Sweetie Drops. Haven't really decided on my secondary color yet. I'm thinking about purple, mostly for the ability to gain extra action tokens, but also because there's a new Doctor Who's vanilla in purple, and I got his companion, might as well get the Doctor, right? Also considering yellow. In theory, orange and yellow is one of my favorite combos. I just haven't had a chance to actually play with it. You know, with orange as the main gimmick being just raw power, and yellow's main gimmick being boosting power. That's pretty slick. Also considering it because, you know, I just sort of like making an homage to Ditzy's original main. I'm also considering pink because Apple Brown Betty. 3 for 3, no color requirement, and it even looks like she's eating a muffin. Granted, I'm sure it's an apple pastry of some kind, but it could be an apple muffin. Another reason I'm considering yellow is so I can use the new Golden Harvest, because that ability is frickin' sweet, and she even talks about muffins in her flavor text. Really hard to say no to that. Now, here's what I really want to talk about in this episode. I can't tell you how excited I was when this was announced. So I'm sure many of you can probably guess at this point. And from what I can tell, from what I've read online, this is probably the most frustrating main in the game. Because this ability here, opponents can't play more than one card of each type per turn. That's nice. That could really slow your opponent down. However, she is nigh impossible to flip. When you confront a problem, put a postage counter on this card. Then, if there are at least 5 postage counters on this card, remove them and turn it over. So basically, you have to initially confront 5 problems to get this card flipped. I can't think of any game I've played where that's ever happened. And from what I've read online, yeah, that almost never happens. That's just absurd. And since all 4 of the theme deck Crystal Games mains have a similar gimmick, if not outright the same gimmick, they are some of the most maligned mains in the game. Now, granted, Crystal Games also released cards that made that easier, that let you like pseudo-confront or just add counters, but again, from what I could tell, that just didn't help much. And then, Equestrian Odysseys happened. Fluttershy backup vocals. I am convinced Enterplay made this card solely to help with Bubbly Mare. When this card enters play, you may choose one, put another friend or resource into its owner's hand, or turn a main character over. Oh, I just played Fluttershy. Bam! On top of that, she is super useful besides that, so she's even worth playing 3. First of all, you can flip Maud back over, reducing your opponent's power by 7, possibly. Granted, Maud is super easy to flip, so it will only be for a turn, but still. Or you can put a friend or resource into your opponent's hand, and I'll get more to why that is just perfect for Ditzy here in a second. Speaking of, in a bit of Destiny, I found out Enterplay granted one of my wishes in my very first pack of Equestrian Odysseys. What we have here is a 1/1/1 for yellow that has nothing to do with critters. And her ability here is pretty sweet. Immediate, which means I can do it pretty much any dang time I feel like. Exhaust this card to put an imposing friend with 0 power into its owner's hand. Now some of you may be thinking, if it has 0 power, what good is that? Well, for starters, some cards are printed with 0, and they can be pretty nasty. Second of all, there are plenty of ways in the game to make characters 0. So, yeah, she can be pretty good. She's rare, which is kind of disappointing for me. But last time I looked online, she was a $2 rare, which I can live with. We also get Pee-wee Firestarter, yet another new yellow 1/1/1. And while he's a critter, he doesn't need other critters to be useful. Falcon. And we also got a new event in Equestrian Odysseys called Lie Low. Again, not only referencing one of my favorite scenes from my favorite episode, but this is a better version of anything I can do to help. One that's actually playable. Some of you might remember in my unboxing video, I went on about how you will never convince me this card sucks, because I love it so much. Now, strictly from an objective gameplay standpoint, yes, I know it's useless. Cost and requirement are just too expensive for what it does, and it offers little to no power for flips. I get it. It pained me greatly, but I removed it from my planned Ditzy deck. When I say I love it, you will never convince me it sucks. It's because it's one of my favorite scenes, it has a great art, and it's my favorite character. All that said, anything you can put in a deck with this main that puts cards back into your opponent's hand is a go-to. That is basically the mustard and crackers of Bubbly Mare here, because her ability just makes it so hard for your opponent to get things back the way they were planning. It can really wreck their day, and I just love it. In fact, while working on the outline for this episode, I am seriously considering making this a yellow-pink deck now, just so I can also take advantage of the fact that pink will dismiss everything. Equestrian Odysseys took one of the most frustrating and useless mains in the game and made her potentially broken. It's going to be fantastic, you guys. I can't wait to get this deck up and running. And there we are, folks. Those are basically my thoughts on how Equestrian Odysseys not only gave us a really awesome Muffin Mare main, but how it helps make Bubbly Mare finally be useful. Do you agree or disagree with what I said? And basically, here's my main question for you guys this time around. Do you have any advice for how to build decks around those two? I am welcome to any and all suggestions or observations. I really want to play with these two mains. Not only for my love of the character, mostly for my love of the character, but just the possibilities they present make me really excited and recharge my batteries for deck building. That's it for this episode. And I think for my next episode, not only will I continue my unintentional theme of being a month behind on everything, but I want to talk about another controversial aspect of this fandom. Join me next month where I talk about what I would love to see in an Equestria Girls expansion of the game. So, until next time, I'm the Nate Damz, and I'm going to go back to analyzing color combinations for two certain mains, like a Ditzy do.
Hey, what time is it?
It's muffin time! It's muffin time!
Actually, it's 12:30.
Stop with the queuing! It's muffin time! It's muffin time!
Actually, it's 12:30.
Somebody kill me!
Now, a cow pretending to be a man. Alan, are you a cow? What? No. Yeah, me neither. Alan, are you a cow? What? No. Yeah, me neither. Alan, are you a cow? What? No. Yeah, me neither. You guys wanted to go skateboards? Skateboards? Hey, what time is it?
Marvel Studios style stinger, guys. Woo! I got a response to my question from way back in episode 0. Just one, but still. And that was a yes. Check off the cards you have. Which now, thanks to a couple boxes, is almost all of them. Anyway, I know you guys were dying to hear about that, so thanks for watching.